public government secondary schools provide a better educational experience than private schools. Show your green card if you agree, or your red card if you disagree.
My experience in high school and why I'm choosing this is the fun part of it. Like, when I got to tertiary, some of my friends who came from, these higher schools, sometimes when you're having conversations with them and you're trying to tell them the kind of things that you did way back in high school, they are like, really? Do you guys used to do this? They don't have that experience. And I mean, for that reason alone, it can be that probably the educational quality is not the best there or what have you, but I'm looking at experience. What I experienced in high school. My experience could be my friends. It could be me skipping classes. It could be me going to town, hanging around with the, the area guys in the locality, the Jama and what have you. For me, that's my experience. And for that reason,
it's not a popular experience.
It's an educational experience because you get to learn, something out of it.
The school being a good school doesn't depend on just learning, like the values, what they teach, what you do, like what they teach you to do and all that. And then if I compare, I feel like with the government schools, they teach a lot because like with the public schools, they are going to teach you all right. But then things like cleaning, taking care of your rooms, all those things, they have people doing all those things for you. But then with the government schools, they teach you all that because like no one is coming to clean your dormitory for you or do certain things for you. So I feel like with the government schools, it helps more than the private schools.
Private schools, they might have people doing that for them. They might have people laying their best. I remember my high school every Wednesday evening and every Saturday morning inspections. You have to lay your bed. Me, I learned how to lay my bed because of the high school I went to, and that's an educational experience. Yeah. Me talking about the Jama and what have you because it doesn't look educational. Does not mean that we also didn't have some kind of educational experience. Now, I was in tertiary. I had the chance to come, to mingle with people that came from the IS. Realize some of them how they even do their things. Some of them I shouldn't to say dirty and what have you, but you can't come from a public school and you're doing this. My roommate, and
Come on now.
Yo.
When you was talking about experience, there are certain government schools that the trauma that people come out there from, it impacts the whole society. Like, I don't even want to go into it, but because of the fun, we prioritize fun and crazy stuff over things that actually impact society. There are people that are from, I went to a government secondary school, and the kind of experience I had, I wish I went to a private school. Because the connections, let's even leave the connections aside, the trauma people go into secondary school, government secondary school, and then they come out being different than what their parents took them in with. Like, they now become something else. I don't want to use names and, put...
How sure are you that, right? Public schools, people don't...
There are. Definitely there are. But, the secondary schools have... when you go to a private secondary school, there are places where some of them even have therapy. Some of them even have people you can actually go and put your complaint forms in there. In government schools, how many people even care about that? The things it's not... They do, but how serious do they take, like, our government schools? How serious do they take that? Personally, I am so invested in our mental health and how we impact the society more because that really speaks so much about us. I was listening when you guys were discussing about how parents and trauma goes. It doesn't matter how you got that trauma. What matters is what you are doing to actually combat whatever you've been through. Do you understand? So this public school and private school situation, I highly recommend private school. If you have the money, take your kids to private school because it's not about that dirtiness. Why your mom and dad didn't train you in the house? Or are you trying to tell me that the government sectors are actually going to train you better than you were trained in the house? No.
Some families,
I do get that. That's how come we have, trauma from the house. But at the same time, you are not coming to tell me that your mom and dad didn't train. The least they will do, the least they will do, have somebody in the house. That somebody in the house is going to even add to the trauma or actually help you be a better person. You cannot detect or say, oh, because I'm not taking, I have to go to work. My kids are not being. It takes time, and intentionality.
Me, I didn't go to a private school. My generation of my family did not go to private. The people after us, everybody's in private school. It's not because of free education. My dad decided that nobody will go to a public school again because the public school that I went to, I hurt my hand by cracking stone. I hurt my leg when we were reading. Somebody with cutlass to cut me. You are telling me that. I see, Africans believe that I'll suffer, so you should suffer.
There is not a word. There is not a
Hold on. When you're making your point, I didn't talk. Hold on. Sorry. I get quiet. Because I know when I make my point, you don't understand.
Okay.
You cannot tell me that because somebody one day said that in my school they was for us, that means every private school doesn't have the ruling. You are like, hey, my cousins are in AIS. You are supposed to visit your children once a month. It's compulsory. If you don't go, they fine you. Because they believe that you, the parents, you need to come and give your child that kind of love to make the child to be able to have and to be able to be focused in classroom. Because if your children are missing, they may not be focused in classroom. In a public school, when your parents come, they don't even want to call you. They don't even want to call you for your parents to visit you.
It's a lie.
Then, hold on. When you're making your points, I still didn't talk. Hold on. Then you are telling me that because you went to a private school and they punish you and you were jumping fence, you are going to have a better experience than me that was going to Cambridge schools that if my WASI doesn't work, I can use my Cambridge to go to another school in the state. Is that what you are telling me? No. So you cannot tell me that you have a better experience in a private school because you were jumping wall, you were scrabbing, you were cracking stone. That is not educational experience. Educational experience is something that is going to impact your life in the future. You jumping the wall, you are going to be Arab. You are not going to be educated.
She was talking about.
Hold on. I said still hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Allah.
Hold on. You see, all of you are having this argument because when we get into politics, you understand that some of the things you are saying, educational experiences, the experience about education, not your jumping fence.
Intellectual.
It's something that you are supposed to have. Your common sense should tell you that me, that I went to that school, whether it is private or public, I need to take out the good and not the bad. If you went to public school and that public school is known for, look at Kimbo Secondary School, this is what they are having. You see them running, fighting each other. You haven't seen AIS or Galaxy Girls doing that in the country. No. Those people have a lot of connection. You go there and AIS doesn't even go to church on Sunday. The whole Sunday is for students to rest. You go to public schools on Sunday after church, then they are chasing them with cane. Go and weed, go and carry go. You are telling me that experience is what you want for your children now.
Yeah, I went to Accra Academy and for about 3 years, not even a single teacher knew my name. I'm being honest with you.
Yes.
Being honest. The last, I think the third term and they started saying, this guy is here, this not. But if it was to be a private school, even though I sit at the back, I run away from school, they would notice me. It's not about the decor and entertainment and all those stuff. It's about what you are learning, what is on the table. I mean, I went to a government school, but I don't think I'll send my child to.
Maybe they also notice you because of the class size. Because here, private schools will not admit. My class was a 55.
That is a disadvantage.
One boys class. We are only looking at the negative side of it.
We are not looking at
Because
if you guys actually understand the kind of experience I had in my high school.
Disadvantage.
who doesn't want the best for their kids?
Never.
It's a disadvantage.
Well,
See,
that's
the government
fine.
school, we can leave the dormitory for 1 week and no one will know.
Nobody will know.
Government school actually need some, resetting. They need to actually come and reset a lot of things in the government school.
I think if only you have the finances or if only you have the capital, the best is for you to send your child to a private school. Because myself, I went to Boku Secondary School from the north. and it was not easy. The experiences I had, if I want to start, I'm sure maybe I would take me like 3 hours or so, because it's really sad. When even if you look at the kind of food they even give you to some of us to eat, like we are animals. Okay, they will give you beans and rice, and even the beans, there's no oil inside. No, it's really a bad experience. And I'm not saying because I've started my child to suffer. No.
Yeah.
You see. So I think
I thought you guys said experience is educational, but now moving to the rice and what see, if this experience way we know they get careful. This experience.
But you guys forget that.
See.
You cannot tell me that somebody from a private school and a government.
I capture ladder. Then I come and give it.
That's what I'm telling you. No. The way government knows
You'll be snatching buses in parliament. This guy will be saying,
we will never vex. It's never vex. You go snatch the bus in parliament.
The way private school people actually carry themselves and the way the government school people carry themselves, you can see clear difference.
But when we
also the kind of experience that impacts the society.
When we come out in the university, when you see us, bro, there's no clear.
You are dumb.
There's no clear difference.
Educational experience is not just the books, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
The whole complement, okay? Because I doubt that our parents sent us to certain secondary schools just because of the education. Education is personal. I still maintain that. Yeah. But it was a whole package, right? Now, I say this because I can't speak to every senior high school. I attended Infantsman Girls Senior High School, and I can tell you 100%, if I had an opportunity to take my child to Infantsman, I'll so do it 100 times. Okay. That's because of the educational experience. Now, there are things that you learn in school, because I understand that educational experience is holistic, right? So you're learning to interact with people because you are dining, you're about 14 on the table. You need to learn to tolerate other people with their temperament and all those things. Yeah. So if it is the case that the private schools don't have that, then I will lean towards the fact that public schools give that educational experience. That
everywhere you need.
That's what I'm saying. Even if anything to go by,
if the governmental or private, you need to be this private.
Yes, and also,
no one is serving me. I put ladder away at the shelf.
And also, okay, let me just make my point. And also, just to wrap, I'm saying that educational experience is holistic. Apart from the books, it's a whole package. If in private schools, they do not allow such interface like we get in the private schools as we do in the public schools, then I will lean towards there. I'll tell you why. Because one of the reasons why I'm so proud to say I'm an old girl of Infantsman, it's not necessarily because of the books. It's because of the people I met. It's because of things they taught me. It's because of things that I experienced that I thought would help me, apart from books, will help me as a person, which I call the add-ons, right? So if that is the case, then I seriously think that based on my experience in public secondary school, I will 100% choose that educational experience over private.
Okay, thank you. You say experience.
At first, they used to pick out the best students to the best schools. Like you said, the people I met, they are not doing that anymore.
Everybody somewhere.
The best students are not going to Addis Ababa anymore. The best students.
What are the figures to back it?
Pardon?
What are the figures to back that?
Madam here is
No, what are the figures? Because you need to have a certain grade to qualify to it.
Exactly. And it's still happening.
It's the reason why the Ghana Education Service, the Education Ministry, has been breathing down our neck saying that, look, if you know your child's grade does not qualify her to go to Infantsman, don't choose Infantsman girls. That's all.